everybody, and welcome to Ratliff Stadium. We are here on a full moon Friday night here in the fall, and tonight the Odessa High Broncos be hosting an old foe that they met since the early 60s in the Midland Lee Rebels. Lee is led by a first-time head coach that at one time was a defensive back coach in the early 2000s at Odessa High, went on to San Antonio and returned to Lee this year, and is facing his alma mater of sorts for the first time tonight. The head coach's name is Clint Hartman. He'll be facing Danny Servance also in his first year for the Broncos. Lee won the toss, has deferred, and Odessa High will take the kickoff when we return to Ratliff in just a moment.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. Yeah. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, here. High five. I meant that too.
Our Transglobal Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by E&E Service and Supply and by Cable One. Well, if we look back over the history of the series between these two teams, began back in 1961. Lee has won 34 of the 55 games. Between 61 and 79, Odessa won 11 of 19. That was their heyday. Between 1980 and 99, Lee won 13 of 21. And since 2000, they've won 13 of the 16. Lee also won 9 in a row between 2001 and 2009. They won 4 of the last 6. But Broncos won 2 years ago and also won in 2010. So they always seem to give these Rebels a hard tussle, and we're hoping to have that happen tonight. So the opening kickoff is going to be returned out beyond the 20, and we'll start the 24. And Kyle Hubbard will ask him what his keys to the game are.
Barry, I think the keys tonight are very simple for the Broncos as we have a penalty on this play. I think they've got to get off to a better start. They cannot give up a ton of points like they have all year. This is Terrell Pierce.
Number 12 is the return team. 10 yards, spot foul, first down.
It's a holding call, so it's going to take the ball back to the 15. But back to my keys, they absolutely must stay in the ball game the first and second quarters. This Lee team has given up some points in their first 7 ball games of the year, so be close. Play sound defensively, get some pressure on Samaj Davis, their quarterback, and see if you can get some turnovers and hang around till the fourth quarter. Cameron
Lamont is who returned the kick, and after the penalty, they're going to be back to the 10-yard line, not the 15. So we'll start there with 1st and 10. Broncos on offense as we begin the game. Webster has a very high snap, and he's only 5'6", and that snap was close to 6'5". They're going to drop him back for a 5-yard loss back to the 5, and rather ignominious way to start the ballgame.
And they had 7 to 8 guys on the line of scrimmage. I'm talking about the Lee Rebels. They absolutely were going to bring pressure on first down and try to force OHS into passing, and forced a semi-turnover on that first down with the high snap, as Barry said.
Now, the Bronco offense has had some tough times this year. They average less than 100 both running the game, in the running game, and in the throwing game. And that's the reason, I think, for the stacked guys on defense. Can you see who carried the ball? I'm really having a hard time seeing the numbers.
That was number 22 for the Broncos.
So that was Nathan Lavario. It's going to be up to him and the sophomore Julian Galindo to tote the load tonight because of the absence of a whole lot of players, including Tony Carrasco. Also, Kiwi Robinson is dressed tonight and may see some action. That would certainly be nice. We'd love to watch him run. So Webster's going to have to throw the ball away as he is pressured. Down the field, has a man open. I think he caught it. He did.
Yes, he did.
Out to the 30-yard line. A great throw by Webster, a great catch by Caulfield. And the Broncos have the initial first down of the night.
Chase also almost ran himself into the end zone there on the scramble, but did a good job of keeping his head up and at the last moment finding that receiver for a good first down. Tyrone Caulfield on the catch.
Tyrone Caulfield comes up with a big first down. That's going to be his 8th catch of the season. Certainly become a playmaker here in his first year on the varsity. Webster throwing the ball again over the middle, going to be picked off. Now that's the first pickoff for the Lee defense since Tay Britt came up with it. The first pickoff by the Lee defense since the only 2 of the season they got against Abilene in week 2.
Well,
and comes at an opportune time because the Broncos found something.
Well, he did, and it was just a high throw by Webster to the receiver there off of his hands a little high. Little tip drill for the Lee defense, and they've got the ball on a short field at the Bronco 40-yard line.
That was the first pick of the year for Britt, who plays mainly on offense. But he set his offense up here in good field position. The quarterback's going to be Semaje Davis. That's spelled S-E-M-A''J. He can hurt you with his feet or his arm. Going to throw it here. They're going to get about 5 yards on the first toss of the night to Nick Sorianello. Sorianello was the guy they thought would be the quarterback a couple of years ago, but Davis won the battle, and Sorianello has been moved to wide receiver and gets 5 here.
Just a quick wide receiver screen for a good 5-yard pickup there, Barry.
Got a sophomore running back here. He goes for the first down and a whole lot more. Nope, this is Davis, I think, that kept it. Right, Davis kept the ball here. The sophomore running back is a kid by the name of Traylor, Josh Traylor. He's number 22, but the quarterback kept it down to the 22 for a gain of 13.
And it just the zone read there. They pulled the guard and the tackle from the top side and able to get up inside for a nice Rebel first down.
Traylor's a 166-pounder. They fake it to him and throw the ball out for a gain down to the 19. Pass was caught there for the Lee Rebels by, I didn't see the number.
Jorge Lopez on the tackle for the Broncos there.
Was that 16?
I believe that was number 6. No, it's 15 actually. It was number 15 for them.
So it's going to be a gain down to the 20-yard line. So maybe down to the 19. So a couple is about it. Going to hand it off inside, get basically nothing.
Good job inside by the linebackers and the front three of the Broncos. That's a 3-4 defense. Got good penetration for absolutely no gain.
Kobe Standard is the kid that caught the ball a moment ago. Standard is the backup quarterback, and in lieu of playing because of Davis, they want to get him on the field, and so he's lined up in the slot there to the right. Davis may run it here on third down at about 8. He may throw it, but he may run it. He's got great feet. Well, it's a short snap. I don't think that was planned, but it worked out good for Lee as the running back, Traylor, picked up the ball laying on the field and boogies down the road 20 yards for the TD.
Well, you can see the snap was rolling back to the quarterback. The running back just had heads up. Traylor did scooping it up and finding a lane, and I think that just messed everybody up, as Barry said, and he had clear sailing into the Rebel end zone for the first points of the night.
Oh, my goodness, you can't kind of plan for that kind of stuff, can you?
No, you really can't, and you just try to adjust and kind of go on from there.
Traylor's 6th rushing score of the season, and the extra point by Nathan Bowden puts the 7th number on the board. So the Rebels break out with the first drive of the night on a short field, going 40 yards after the interception, and they lead over the Broncos by a score of 7-0.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
During the National Flooring Sales Event at Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, you can get beautiful new floors for your home today and have 36 interest-free months to pay. 36 months with no interest on beautiful new carpeting, hardwood, tile, and luxury vinyl is the best and biggest deal Paul Evans has ever offered. Hurry to Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring today, because when October ends, so does this incredible deal. Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, under the huge Texas flag in downtown Odessa.
Try Texas Burger's new Banana Royale. You'll love it.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Odessa College and Holkenthorpe CPAs. Tay Britt's interception leads to a short 40-yard drive in just under 2 minutes. Takes them 5 plays, and the final capper was the busted play that the sophomore running back had the presence of mind to pick the errant ball up and go 20 yards with. And the Lee Rebels are on top 7-0. Return out to the 12-yard line, and so Broncos back on offense.
And what you have to do here, Barry, is stay within your game plan. It's only a 1-score difference right now. You established a little bit on your last drive with that long pass. Continue to stay in your game plan and allow the game to flow to you.
Now, the Broncos have had some tough times in the passing game, completing only 32% of their passes, but that first pass by Webster was right on the money. And if he can keep that up tonight, things could look pretty good. So the Broncos will come back out on offense. Lined up behind Webster's going to be, what happened to my sheet? Lined up behind him will be Lavario again. I mentioned earlier that Robinson and probably also Julian Galindo, those are the 3 guys we expect to see running the ball. First carry is going to be out to the 22.
That's a really good gain by Lavario right there. As you can see, our Transglobal Productions instant replay wasn't Lavario. It's my mistake. It was a busted play. And give Chase Webster kudos for getting up inside and getting a Bronco first down on the busted play.
Well, we'll take it.
Yep.
Out to the 22-yard line. Going to run it here. Again, he's going to keep it. A little 5'6" water bug gets about to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets an extra yard, if that. Going to be second long.
Our officials tonight, Terrell Pierce is the referee. Albert Cortez is the umpire. Joe Marolis is the head linesman. The line judge is Mike French, and the back judge is Richard Gutierrez. This is a Permian Basin chapter crew.
Now, the Lee defense averages giving up about 6.6 per rushing play. Broncos run the ball better than they throw it, so that may play to their advantage. Almost picked off there as he tried to get the ball to Caulfield and found a defender instead. Going to be third and a full 10.
Yeah, and that's just a slant pattern to the top of the screen and did not connect. It was not an accurate throw by Chase. As you said, almost went into the defender's hand for another Rebel turnover.
Well, it didn't, so we're happy with that. So 3rd and 10. Will he throw it here? Will he run it? Going to have triplets to the right. Well, they backed out of that. They're going to move one of them back into the backfield. I'm having a tough time really reading these numbers tonight, so please forgive me. Webster looks like he will throw it from this set. A lot of pressure coming up. He's going to have to roll left. Does have a man open down the sideline. Can't quite connect with Caulfield. And they're going to have to drop back and punt.
And what happened there, Barry? The pressure from the outside defensive ends forced Chase to not set his feet or give him the opportunity to set his feet. And the pass was inaccurate once he started scrambling. And the Broncos will have to punt here.
Well, Franco was the guy that punts a lot, but it's going to be up to Anastasio. He averages 28.7 per kick, so Reed needs to get his foot into it. He's had a little bit of an issue the last couple of games. Maybe tonight's the night he breaks out. We talked a couple of weeks ago about the kid from Midland High. Mannix had a 87-yarder. And when they played Midland High and Lee that week, well, the short kick's going to bring the Lee Rebel offense out to the 45. Saw a video this week of a kid in California punting from his end zone, boomed the thing out, and it rolled all the way down to the other end zone. Wow. And was a touchback.
Wow. Must have had a wind or a really favorable kick and bounce. I'm sure that's probably what it was.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. So now starting for the second drive tonight, they're going to start again on the Broncos side of the field. Bronco defense averages giving up 5.0 per carry. Also gives up about 180 yards or so per game throwing the ball. Davis will keep it here. It was his running ability that got that win against Tascosa a couple of weeks ago. Didn't really have a good game throwing, but boy, he had a great game running. And this one's going to be good for about 7 yards up to the 38.
And that's Davis just getting up inside and following some good blocking for about a 7-yard gain.
Going to throw it here. Has a man open. That is Sheldon Bass. Tell us about Sheldon.
Well, Sheldon's dad was a wide receiver on the at Permian High School. I actually worked with Sheldon a couple years when we were at Zavala Elementary together. That's his son playing receiver now for the Rebels. And Sheldon this year averaging about 8.3 yards a catch. So dad was a good receiver and defensive back, and I'm sure son's following very well in his footsteps. Here it is to him.
Well, he hadn't caught a touchdown pass, almost did there. You have some numbers there on his dad. What does dad do at Permian?
Let's see. His dad, Sheldon, was a player from 92 through 93, 73 receptions, 1,088 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Very, very good receiver. Senior year, 57 catches, 937 yards, and all 11 of those touchdowns came his senior year. So coming pretty well from Dad.
Yeah, good stock. That's interesting because Mannix from Midland High, his dad played at Permian. Bass now, his dad played at Permian, and both of them now playing at Midland and Lee. Now the run here was by, on the second down play, by the quarterback, Davis. Going to set him up with 3rd and short.
And they can dial just about anything they want to here, Barry. This might be 2-down territory. They do have an excellent field goal kicker. We saw him in warm-ups hitting them from about 40-ish, 45. So this would be maybe stretching it just a little bit, be right at it actually. So they can kind of dial up what they want here.
Now it's going to be a 3rd down play. They're going to hand it off. Nope. He faked it to the guy coming around, and boy, they grabbed a hold of him there, and Davis has nowhere to run. Did you get a number on that truck that hit him?
Well, it's coming from inside. Watch right here, as you can see.
Looks like Houston, 42.
Yep, and 30 for the Broncos as well. That is, I've got to get my paper here right, sorry, but very, very good pursuit there by Chris Thompson, the defensive end, a junior, played it very, very well for the Broncos.
So it's going to bring up a 4th down play. What I can see, Broncos are going to have to step it up here. They've given their opponents 50% success rate on 4th down. Opponents have tried it 10 times, completed 5. Timeout, Rebels. They're going to talk about it. Coach Hartman's called the guys to the sideline. So 4:40 to play in the first quarter, and Lee is on top 7-0, facing a 4th down when we come back. Our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Paul Evans Carpets and Diamond Pump and Transport. So are they really going to try to go for it on 4th, try to draw them off or what?
I think they'll go for it here, Barry, just because you don't pick up anything with a punt, not much in field position, and maybe just a little out of that kicker's range. So I think this is a gamble that the Lee Rebels will take, and I think they'll try to I see a quarterback run or draw here, maybe the sweep. No.
Well, empty backfield. They have to get to the 22.5, and he's not going to make it. They've gathered up on him there at the 25, and he's going to go backwards and the Broncos will take over. Who are those guys that did the work up front?
Well, that's the defensive end coming from the edge, setting a good edge right there. You can see again number 30 for the Bronco defense. That's Chris Thompson, along with a whole host of Broncos to bring that quarterback down and get the turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for the Bronco offense at this point.
So they're going to mark him at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Broncos at that point, trailing 7-0 here early in the quarter. After this, tell us, now we were talking about they have to get off to a fast start offensively and defensively. What is that number they've given up the first 2 quarters?
Well, as the run goes, actually it's a quick screen out to the outside. In the first quarter this year, Odessa High has given up 112 points in 6 ball games. They've given up 111 in the second quarter, which will tell you by halftime they've got no chance to give themselves an opportunity to win a game. And to do that, Barry, to have a shot, you cannot put yourself in the hole that quick in a ball game.
It'll be 2nd down here. They're going to get the first down and more. He's going to be all the way down to the 42-yard line. I think it was Lavario again. Folks, I cannot read the numbers, so I'm having a tough time.
Yeah,
here.
I'll try to help you out with that a little bit there. That's a good job by the left side of the Bronco offensive line to create a gap there and allow Lavario to get up inside and get another Bronco first down.
So now from the 40-yard line, Broncos back on the move again. Webster's going to carry it here, looking for a block, gets it, and just driving those little feet all the way down to the 45 and 47-yard line before finally he's going to be brought down by Felipe Diaz. But an excellent 6-yard gain on first down.
And that's a design quarterback sweep with the back leading up outside. Good job, good 4 or 5 yard gain. Makes this 2nd and 5 now. You can take a shot down the field if you want to here on 2nd down.
Now this Lee Rebel defense has really been hurt by the pass this year. Maybe this will be the game that Broncos break out throwing the ball. Now they didn't quite connect there, tried to get the ball to Caulfield. They have given up 6 touchdowns of 20 yards or more, 16 passing TDs of 20 yards or more, including a 96-yarder against El Paso El Dorado. How many yards they give up passing to El Dorado a couple weeks ago?
Let me look at that right quick. I was just going to say they've given up 87 and 90 respectively. I'm talking about the Rebels, so they've given up some yardage too and some points. As you say, as you look that up, or as I look at that up, I think it's a real good chance for OHS to get themselves back in the game.
Webster got his arm hit as he threw the ball, and it pops up incomplete. Well, a couple of weeks ago, they played El Paso El Dorado. 3rd week of the season, gave up 539 yards passing. Total yardage that night, they gave up 736 yards. Bet they were glad to get out of El Paso.
Yeah, I bet they were too, because it sounded like that was just a maybe a little 7-on-7 action where you just throw it every play and see what you can get, and that's about what happened.
Now the next week against Monterey up in Lubbock, they gave up 456 throwing the ball. And
that's the Monterey, who generally does not pass the ball. We saw that Monterey team here, though, and they were much improved. So not a big surprise as well. We saw them play this Bronco team first game of the year.
Well, they were undefeated last week, stubbed their toe against Abilene Cooper, but yeah, they definitely are a force to be reckoned with. And that night they played Lee, they had everything going.
They really did, and that's this Lee team can. They played San Angelo Central very, very tough last week. I know some people I talked to said they were in the ball game right up till the very end. A couple of turnovers that they could have had might have made a difference.
Now they lost that one 35-21, but yep, they did play very well. Davis will keep it here, staying on his feet, and then runs into a bunch of gray jerseyed Bronco defenders. I'll let you call the numbers out.
Reed Anastasio, number 34, was there from his outside linebacker position to make the initial hit, but not before another Rebel first down at the Lee 34-yard line.
Yep, got 14 yards on that one. Navarrete also on the tackle. They're going to hand it off to the sophomore running back. He's going to be beyond the 45-yard line. close to the 47. He got the nod to another 14-yard gain. He started his first game the second week of the year and really has done a good job running the ball for these Rebels.
You can see.
Had a couple of 300-yard efforts, 703 yards coming into tonight.
Reed Anastasio, C.J. Washington on the last play making the tackle, and here goes Bass on the quick wide receiver screen down the sideline for another Rebel first down.
He's going to tiptoe up beyond the 40-yard line. Let's see where they mark him.
I think this Sheldon might be a little bigger than the other one. That's no knock on Dad, but this kid's got some excellent size for a receiver. He's got good height and really good hands.
Yeah, length they call it nowadays.
Yep.
And also he's just a sophomore, so they're going to go back to the running game again. This time trailer. What did I say a minute ago? I said that he's had some 100-yard efforts. In fact, he had 3 of them. Coming into the game, had 131 against El Dorado, had 180 against Tascosa. In fact, both he and Davis had over 180 yards against Tascosa, and then he had 127 last week against that very good Bobcat defense.
Yep.
I really like this kid. He looks like a pretty stout kid, but he is listed at only 166 pounds.
Yeah, I think he's a little stouter than that 160. As you can see the handoff inside on our Transglobal Productions instant replay. Juan Gallegos, the defensive tackle, a junior, number 54, did an excellent job of getting rid of the center and getting some penetration for about a 1-yard loss, making this 2nd and 11. Good job there.
Yeah, from the 32-yard line, here comes a bit of pressure. Looking over the middle of the field, has a man wide open, and Sheldon Bass will score his first touchdown of the season. He had 4 catches coming in, and for the first time on the board as a varsity player at Lee, this comes from 32 yards out.
And that's just a post pattern by Bass there coming in the middle. Don't know if that's a busted coverage or somebody just got beat there. I think it's a busted coverage because Barry said he was all alone in the middle of the field. Good throw by Samaj Davis and another Rebel touchdown.
Third longest touchdown pass of the season for the Lee Rebels. This comes from 32 yards away. And Davis will throw his 13th touchdown pass of the season. So our new score with 1:21 to play in the first quarter has the Lee Rebels with 14 and the Broncos still looking for their first score of the night.
Enjoy the best cheeseburger in town at Texas Burger.
Our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you by both of the booster clubs at Odessa High and Permian. Well, made them go the distance that time, 80 yards. They did it. Minute 50 seconds to go to 6th place. Davis connected with a sophomore, Sheldon Bass. And the Lee Rebels back on the board with 1:21 to play in the first and lead it by a 14-0 count.
And there is some Odessa ties to the Lee coaching staff. It's like we talked about last week with Midland. Bo Smith was the offensive line coach at Odessa High. Last couple of years, he is now on the staff at Lee. That offensive line really protected Samaj Davis really well there on that pass. Got to know Bo very well last year. We did a lot of talking on Thursday nights during JV games. Bo's a great guy, and he's a good coach, and he's going to do a great job for these Lee Rebels. So first down here now, Barry. Again, you got to put a drive together, put some plays together. Got to finish the drive now and get some points here to finish off the first quarter, or at least into the second, as there's only a minute 10 left here in the first quarter.
First time this season, Lee has scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, and they lead at 14-0. Again, another high snap. This time it's going to be Lavario rescuing the ball, but it's going to come down for a loss of a couple. Boy, they they keep snapping that thing like he's a 6'4" point guard.
And what happens on that, Barry, sometimes when the center gets ready to snap, he lifts his bottom, and that kind of changes the trajectory as it comes from his hand into the snap. He's got to keep himself down and get the ball to Chase so he can do something with it instead of having to cover it up.
Now, a note Larry gave me says Lee has averaged 8.3 per play here early in the first quarter, and of course that shows on the scoreboard. Again, a little bit of a high snap, but he's able to hand the ball off to Lavario, who's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and not a whole lot more than that, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, not much happening up front right now. The Lee Rebel defense is controlling the line of scrimmage here on the first 2 plays, and again, the high snaps don't help any at all either, Barry. They've got to resolve that as they get ready to be done with the quarter here.
Well, they have to get the ball out to the 30-yard line. If they snap it off, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, that's going to be the end of the first. So we have played one, didn't get the ball snapped in time. We've played 1 quarter, and the Broncos trailing the Lee Rebels 14-0. Be back to Ratliff for quarter number 2 in just a moment.
Every occasion, at any age, make it Rosa's Cafe for great food and good times. From generation to generation, we've been making memories for families across the Southwest with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rosa style. After all, life is better with Rosa's Cafe.
As we begin the second quarter of play, our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance agent Mike Podzimny, as well as Paving Pro. So we've got a 3rd down play. Seems to like to throw the ball to Caulfield, so we're going to look at and assume he's going to look for number 7. Going to drop back, going to have to run the ball here, and not going to be able to throw it whatsoever, so he's going to gain a couple. But Anastasio's going to have to come back out and punt.
And what's happening right now, Barry, the defensive ends or outside linebackers for the Lee Rebels are getting pressure up the field and not allowing Chase to set his feet. He's having to step up and run out of the pocket, and he's got no time to deliver the ball. Lee's playing man-to-man underneath with 2 safeties over the top. So they're going to have to adjust and get the ball out of his hands a little quicker.
So Anastasio will be on the field for his 3rd punt of the night. Need to get a big foot into it and maybe drive him back inside the 30 or not.
Well, the high snap again, Barry, is what's caused this mini turnover, if you will. They're going to have set up shop at the 2-yard line, but the snap was just too high, and the punter had no chance to get it down or get a punt. And thank goodness one of the upbacks tried to get on it and make something happen, but that's just a mini turnover, if you will, for the Broncos, and not a good start to the second quarter.
Yeah, mildly.
So right.
Yeah, you can say that again. So Traylor will likely get the call here on 1st down. He's the short yardage back, especially when they get down into the territory they are, which is starting their drive now from the 2-yard line. Liardi leading by a score of 14-0. Bad snap. It's put the Rebels here, but they're going to go with an empty backfield. So apparently they're going to try to throw the ball, or that, or Davis will just simply look for a lane and run.
I started to say quarterback draw. We're going to have a delay of game. Lee took a long time on the sideline over there to get on the field.
On the offense. 5 yards.
That's kind of stuff that makes you go ball-headed or gray-headed, doesn't it?
It just gives them 5 more yards to work with, and they're going to go empty and bring the slot back, watch him come in motion, see if they give it to him or if Davis just fakes it, gets up inside.
I was going to say if he throws it, look for Britt. Instead, they're going to run it. They will run it in easily as nobody's there to contest them. And very quickly into the end zone for the Lee Rebels, and they're on the board one more time.
It's the slot receiver sweep coming in motion there for the Rebels. They got the edge blocked, and you kind of saw at the end of the run, he just led up and coasted in the end zone for another Rebel touchdown.
Now Grant Brown only had 1 carry for 6 yards before tonight. That one goes for 7 and ends in pay dirt for the Rebels. Nathan Bowden on to put the 21st point on the board for the night. And so barely into the second quarter, it is the Rebels 21 and the Broncos nothing.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. Yeah. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper. And I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, yeah? High five. And man, that too.
Well, we're barely 13 minutes into the ball game, and the Broncos trail by 21-0. 11:01 to play in the second quarter. Tonight's Transglobal Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, brought to you in part by Texas Burger and by the Permian Basin Area-Wide Phone Book. Well, one thing they've got to straighten up is they've got to quit shooting themselves in the foot in the center snap. Yeah?
That's exactly right.
Well, the return's going to be out to the 26-yard line. So after starting from the 10, the 12, the 25, the 19, this is their best field position of the night. Now, Webster, from what I've seen here in the early going, has things clicking.
He does, and he's had some really good passes. He's really completed some nice throws to a couple of his receivers. But as we were talking about, you cannot self-implode right now by committing turnovers and doing just basic fundamental things like a good snap and some fundamental blocking and execution up front. So let's see if they throw here on first down or if they're going to maybe run the football inside here.
Lavario, the solo back, is going to get the handoff. Going to get to the original line of scrimmage. That's about it. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just good penetration by the left side of the Rebel defense. They're running a 4-3 defense with 4 down linemen, three linebackers, and 4 safeties, corners, if you will. And right now they're rolling corners up and just daring. You see down here at the bottom, they're trying to force Odessa High into throwing.
Well, they do that. And they're going to call it incomplete. I think it may have skidded the turf before he was able to come up with it.
Yeah, he didn't give the receiver a chance to catch the ball. They had it blocked on the outside up there, but the throw has to be where he can catch it and turn up, and it was not. Here's another 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 for the Bronco offense.
Now from their 26, 27-yard line, Broncos desperately need to pick up some first downs, move the chains, run the clock. Need to do all of that by picking up the first down here at 3rd and a long 9.5. Webster, though, going to be completely bottled up, throws the ball, and he short hops it to his receiver. Well, he had him open, tried to get the ball to him, but had just a little bit under the arm strength he needed. Zay Brown was there and open and would have maybe been able to turn and pick up the first, but instead, again, they will have to punt. 10-11. To play before half.
And you can tell Chase is not very comfortable, Barry, having to try to run and throw the football. He needs to be able to set his feet and deliver the ball with a good base without his feet being moving, if you will. And just did not throw an accurate ball there. He had the receiver open, as you said, just did not happen.
Anastasio will get this one. It was a nice snap back to him. It's going to come to rest down. Again, it gets a horrible bounce and will be gathered in there at midfield. Boy, I tell you, just when things are going bad, they're going bad. But just an absolutely horrible bounce on a decent punt that had it bounced the other way would have probably rolled down inside the 30. As it is, Lee will come out to midfield.
You'd like to get the ball to check up like that on one of your golf shots, wouldn't you? That's what happened there. So you're exactly right. It just kind of checked up, and they've got another short field to work with here.
Anastasio got his foot into that one fairly decently, but just bad luck. So now back on offense come the Midland Lee Rebels. Going to try to run it, not get much again. That defensive front line, why don't you identify them for us? They're doing a pretty good job.
They really are. Chris Thompson is the defensive end along with Joseph Chavez. Juan Gallegos is the nose tackle. The outside linebackers are Reed Anastasio and Jorge Lopez. The inside linebackers, Tanner Houston and Oscar Lucio, will do the safeties and corners after this play.
That was a loss of 1. It was Lopez that came up and made the tackle on that first down play. Now Davis having to scramble. Here comes a lot of pressure, and he's not going to be able to throw it. Well, he may if he's able to set his feet. Going to just be run out of bounds. No, he's down the side. Wow, he's still going. He's down the sideline all the way down inside the Bronco 30-yard line at the 28.
Well, he just kept the play alive with his feet, Barry. Watch on our replay right here. He's looking downfield, gets some pressure coming from the inside, and right now it's just an angle of pursuit thing, trying to make sure that you don't let him outside. They lose contain, and he's off up the sideline once he gets out there. Almost took us to the house before there's Mr. Johnny on the spot tonight for the Broncos, Jorge Lopez, but not before another Rebel first down.
He went 23 yards on that one. I thought they had him dead to rights back near the 35-yard line, and he just kind of squeezed out of there like toothpaste, and he was gone in a heartbeat. So now 1st and 10 from way down deep in Bronco territory. Going to go back to the run. It's going to be Tay Britt. Britt's going to be all the way into the end zone, and Britt, barely molested, will score from 28 yards out.
Well, they missed a tackle. There was a tackle here right as he broke the line of scrimmage. I hope we get to see this. Thank you, Debbie. You're going to see him break the line of scrimmage here, and somebody right there had a chance to get him down on the ground. He really ran through the tackle, and the Rebels are back into the end zone one more time.
Britt had 1 carry last week for -1, only his 2nd carry of the season, and it will go 28 yards and into the end zone with Bowden adding the extra point. So our new score, with 9 minutes and 9 seconds to play before halftime. We're in the second quarter. Rebels 28, Broncos nothing.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you by Nimbus Drinking Water Systems and Medical Center Hospital. Start from midfield. It was a couple of big runs, a 22-yarder by the quarterback Davis, a 28-yarder to cap it on the run by Tay Britt. And now a 3-play drive in less than a minute has the Lee Rebels up 28-0. Well, once he got through the line of scrimmage, Kyle, there was nobody there, and it was off to the races and pay dirt again.
One guy had a shot at him, Barry, and he didn't get him on the ground. So that's what we talk about every time. You know, in this 3-4 defense, you have to have some people that step up and fill holes and make one-on-one tackles, and it did not happen there. We've got a penalty on the play at the end.
Now, that would have been their best field position to start with of the night at the 31, close to the 32, but may go back to the 15.
I do want to say, as Terrell Pierce gets us ready to tell us this, Cameron Lamone and Aaron Ochoa, they're the corners. Let Terrell make
Number 6 of the return team continue to play without his helmet.
Well, we've had that one a few times.
Yes, we have. Colton Beard and John Navarrete were the safeties for the Broncos. I promised y'all I would finish that on the defense as they were fixing to do that play, but the touchdown run kept me from doing that.
How dare them?
How dare them? Well, the Bronco offense has got to make something happen now, Barry. It's really pretty dire right now that they do put a drive together. Chase has got to set his feet, be able to set his feet, and deliver the ball wherever it needs to go.
Yeah, Larry was noting that the ball is coming off, heading down rather than up. In other words, the nose of the ball is down when he's throwing the ball.
We've got a change at quarterback here, Barry. This is Trey Smith at quarterback.
Yeah, so Smith's going to come in, the sophomore. He and Webster have kind of rotated here and there throughout the year. They had John Franco that stood in last week, but he's unavailable tonight, and so now Trey Smith, number 4, will be the man under center. The first down play is going to get him nothing, bringing up a 2nd and 10.
Looked like Juan Galindo on the run there for maybe nothing on that play.
Second down play is going to be a break. It's going to be a break house. He may take this one all the way to the house. He may go. He is going to. No, are they going to catch him? No, they will not. Into the end zone, barely, but on the board they will go.
That is Keve Robinson on the long touchdown run. Watch our Trans Global Productions history replay. Thought they had him right there. Bounced off 2 missed tackles by the Rebels. Keve able to spin, keep his drive or his feet going, and off to the races he went. They almost got him at the end zone, but it's the first Bronco touchdown of the night.
Well, they said he was available to play tonight. Well, no kidding.
Yeah.
Did not play at all last week. Had 83 carries for 358. Had scored a couple of TDs, including a long 65-yarder against Lubbock Coronado. This one's going to go 84. And the Broncos are looking for Ulysses Gutierrez to add on the 7th point of the night, which he does. Our new score with 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go before halftime is the Lee Rebels 28 and the Broncos 7.
E&E Service and Supply is your leader in well service supplies and rig packages. We manufacture oil savers, rod transfers, rod strippers, pipe wiper blocks, weight indicators and pads, rope sockets, drop valves, guy line blocks, swab mandrels, fishing tools, slip cylinders for Advance, BJ, and Giberson, and a whole lot more. Please come by E&E Service and Supply at 3501 Brazos.
Ready for the best deal ever from Cable One? For a limited time, $25 gets you 100 megs. Really, $25? That's half price on high-speed internet. We've never offered you so much for so little. So call Cable One at 855-740-8971. 100 megs means reliable Wi-Fi and the best streaming on all your devices, all for just $25. But this half-price deal ends soon. So call and switch today. Cable One, the face of fast.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by E&E Service and Supply and by Cable One. That 86-yard run by Keve Robinson, the longest TD run for the Broncos since 1985. Gary Powell took one the same distance against Abilene Cooper back, 31 years ago?
Yeah, that's a name from the past. Gary Powell, 1985. I believe the Broncos were running the wishbone with, trying to think of the coach's name that was here. Millsaps, wasn't Jerry Millsaps the coach at that time? I believe so, at Odessa High. The Powells, they had 2 Powells in the backfield. Something like that. So I could see Gary Powell could run. He had a lot of speed. Well, now the OHS defense, Barry, I think he's got to step up here.
It is Jerry Taylor.
Jerry Taylor in 85?
Oh, 86 was Jerry Taylor. 85 was...
Had to be. I think that was Jerry Millsaps' last year at OHS.
You'd be right.
They ran the wishbone.
So the run by Keve Robinson has certainly perked up the audience, as now the Broncos are on the board, still trailed by the 28-7. Boy, what a run by Robinson. Now we start with 8:10 to play before halftime. Lee starting from their 27-yard line. And, Keve, you told us in that very first game, you said that he had some jets on him.
He has some speed, and watch out, this may be speed the other way as well. Yep. Think he's going to get in the end zone, Barry, on the first play.
On the first play to answer the 86-yard run by Keve Robinson. Now their sophomore running back, Traylor, will take this one, 73?
Yep, missed a tackle at the line of scrimmage again, Barry. Bounced it outside, and once they did that, it was off to the races. They had a shot at him there, but by the time you get a hand on him in the end zone, it's too late. It's another Lee Rebel touchdown.
Well, Traylor had a 75-yarder earlier this year against Tascosa. This one goes 73, a second long run of the season. And again, the Rebels are back on the board just as quick and as a flash of lightning. The extra point was no good. And our score at 7:56 to play before half, Rebels 34 and the Broncos 7.
Diamond Pump and Transport LLC specializes in oil field transportation. We are locally owned and operated and do business in the Permian Basin and West Texas areas. We also provide hot oil service, acid pumping, water hauling, tank cleaning, and other types of oil field transport and hauling services. We invite you to call us today. Diamond Pump and Transport LLC, 432-617-8084.
Enjoy a Texas Burger chicken strip dinner today.
Well, in the last 14 seconds, we've had an 84-yard run by Kiwi Robinson, a 73-yard run by Traylor of Lee, and before that, we had a 28-yard run by Britt. So since the 9:09 mark of the second quarter, a 28-yard run, an 84-yard run, a 73-yard run in what, a minute and 13 seconds. Wow.
Pretty quick feet. Almost broke this return right here, Barry. Going to be decent field position for the Bronco offense.
As long as there's no flags, that'll work.
Yes, sir. And it's back to the drawing board for the offense.
Well, give it back to Kiwi.
Give it back to Kiwi and let him go. That was a really nice run by him. That was a really nice run there for the Broncos. As I said in the break, the two touchdown runs, the last two that Lee's had, they've had, I'm talking about Odessa High's, had somebody in the hole to make the tackle and just have not secured it. And once you don't make the tackle and they bounce, they have had an opportunity to make some plays happen.
Lee scored 21 points in the first half in the first game of the year against El Paso Coronado. They have 34 on the board in the first half tonight. So the first pass is going to be good. They're going to be out close to the 44-yard line. So good catch there for the Broncos by by Zay Brown. And going to bring up a second and short.
And the play-action pass there, Barry, that action held the linebacker so that the stop route could be executed for about 6 or 7. Nice job there on first down.
Good throw by Trey Smith. Good catch by Brown. And hand the ball off for no gain and bring up a third and short.
Yep, penetration there on the front side of the Lee defense to hold them to absolutely nothing there. Let's see if they decide to go to the air. They might run a little zone read here, see if they can get the quarterback out on the edge. I'm talking about Smith. See if they decide to go that route. Or if they want to throw out here, they've got 3 receivers, 2 defenders down here at the bottom.
Going to run it instead, so Smith will keep it. He's going to have the first down. Got out to midfield, maybe a yard past. Had to get to the 47.5-yard line, so the chains will move, and the Broncos are on the move.
A designed quarterback run there with the back leading them up into the hole. Good blocking on the right side, and a nice first down for the Broncos.
Going to mark him right at midfield. But chains move nonetheless. Going to be 1st and 10. Going to throw it here, looking for Caulfield, looking down the field. Has a man open, just barely overshot him, just out of the reach, and falls incomplete. Tyrone Caulfield, the intended target. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Trey Smith showing off his arm there a little bit, just a little too much, a little more air. Might have had that right into the breadbasket for Caulfield to catch, but it did not happen. And this will be 2nd and 10. Let's see what the Bronco coaching staff dials up on this play.
From midfield. Can't imagine running it on 2nd and long, but what do I know? Going to be a gain of maybe 1 at the most. Handed it off inside to Kiwi Robinson. And going to be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, 3rd and long here now. Let's see if they decide to, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a pass. Let's see if they go with a little wide receiver screen, maybe a little bubble screen of some kind. Now they're going to change the formation, and they're getting the play from the sideline. They're changing it there as well.
Robinson certainly has the wheels. Had a 144-yard game against Lubbock Coronado earlier in the season. But I'm kind of kept in check here lately. A lot of that's injury related. You know, with a running back like that, wheels are everything, and when your legs get hurt, well, they can't quite connect. It was going to be about a yard short of what they needed for a first down intended for Zay Brown. And going to bring up a 3rd and 10. They're going to ask Anastasio to pin them deep.
Yeah, they had the out route there, Barry, coming from the slot. Would have been maybe about a yard short, but would have been able to bring that in and get it out of bounds. It might have been a 4th and 1 and possibly a go-for-it situation there for the Broncos.
Tay Britt, one of the guys returning the kick, standing back at the 12-yard line. He has a couple of kickoff returns on his resume this year. He and Prince are the 2 back to receive the kick. It's gonna come to Tay Britt, who's going to get lost the ball. Did the Broncos come up with it? I think they may have.
Yep, I believe you're right.
He just flat blew it up.
Blattered that thing around like a badminton birdie.
Yeah.
With his hand, and I do believe the Broncos say they have it, and the referees agree. Well, there's a good turnover for the Broncos right there, Barry. Well, you can see in our Transglobal Productions instant replay, that young man probably should have just fallen on the ball instead of trying to do something with it. It's a good turnover for the Broncos, and let's see if they can capitalize with the ball on the Rebel 21-yard line.
So Oscar Lucio comes up with the ball with the 5:16 mark for the Broncos. Going to be starting now from the Lee, 21-yard line.
Yep.
See if they can get something else on the board.
One thing I noticed there on the punt, Barry, is we're going to have a timeout quickly on the field.
Second team timeout.
OHS moved the punter up in the formation so that they would not have a problem with that snap. Anastasio caught it, did just a little one-step kick, and got it away, and look what happened. They got a turnover out of it.
Timeout in the field. Be back in a moment.
Lifestyle. Your mobility can greatly affect your way of life. At Odessa Regional Medical Center, our orthopedic team is dedicated to get you back to the things you enjoy most. For Robert, 2 successful shoulder surgeries allowed him to rope again. And now, he is back in the saddle. At ORMC, we want to help you return to the things that matter. We love what we do, and we think it shows.
I am ORMC proud.
That was Oscar Lucio's first fumble recovery of the season, only the 4th for the Broncos this year, but sets them up in prime real estate position at the 21-yard line of Lee. We are at the 5-minute, 16-second mark of the second quarter. Lee Rebels with a 34-7 lead, but the Broncos have a chance to get back in this one. Going to hand it off inside to Keevy Robinson and get no gain, bringing up 2nd and 10. This Lee Rebel offense has run up 272 yards here in the first half, 216 of that on the ground. The score is indicative of that at 34-7. But I tell you, the Lucio recovery has set the offense up with a good opportunity to get a second touchdown on the board before halftime. Smith is going to run it, couldn't find anybody to throw it to, and gains maybe 1. And we'll bring up a 3rd and long.
Well, they tried the in route from the outside, Barry, just about a 5-yard in route. It was covered very well by the Lee Rebel linebackers and secondary. And Trey did a good job of just keeping the play alive, not forcing the ball into a turnover or harm's way, and maybe keeping the drive alive with some points here on 3rd down.
The Broncos have had trouble on 3rd down this year, converting only 17% of their opportunities. Coming into tonight, going to be a 3rd down play. Caulfield, nope, just another center issue as the ball is snapped short. And, they say that Lee came up with it. The defender standing there holding the ball, Dustin Hunt, said, look what I found. And apparently they agree with him.
Well, I don't think the snap even got back to Trey there. I don't know if we can see that again or not, but it looked like it never even got there. Thank you, Debbie Bailey. Yeah, he just dropped the ball. Right there, right by his feet. Didn't get back to the quarterback at all. That's another turnover off the center snap there, and another scoring opportunity blown or gone for the Broncos.
Dustin Hunt's 2nd fumble recovery of the season. Now we'll turn the ball over to the Rebel offense. They're going to hand it off to Traylor. Here he comes around the end. Somebody put him on his back.
Going to have a penalty, as you can see on our screen there. This is number 22 for the Lee offense.
You know who that is. That's a sophomore kid.
Yeah, a little sophomore kid again, doing a good job of getting up inside there and and good blocking on for Traylor.
Holding, number 12 of the offense. Spot foul, 10 yards, remains first down.
Got a little help there from Peyton Tranum illegally down the field, and it's going to be, as you heard Terrell Pierce, our referee, say, it's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Actually going to end up being 1st and 11 now for the Rebels.
Yep, going to mark it down to the 21, so first down is right. Traylor along back there with Samaj Davis. Going to get the ball here. Nope, they're going to whip it out to Tranum. Tranum's going to catch the ball and get it down to the 27-yard line.
Saw number 15 for the Broncos. That's Colton Beard on the tackle from his safety position. Coming up on the wide receiver screen to make the play. Not before about a 7-yard gain for the Rebels.
Well, Tranum hadn't been able to catch a ball the last 3 weeks. Finally gets one here. Going to be out to the 27-yard line. That's his 16th catch of the season.
Nice pressure by the Bronco defense inside. See if I can get that number for you. That might be 34 again. We've called his number a few times tonight, Reed Anastasio. Here's our replay. You see it coming. It's a linebacker blitz, and certainly Reed Anastasio gets there and gets his hands on the legs of the quarterback to force that incomplete pass and make this a 3rd and 5 from the Rebel 28-yard line.
Try to get the ball to Brown. Falls incomplete because of the pressure by Anastasio. Now Davis will try to throw it. Holds the ball, has a man open. Has the connection made up near the 40-yard line. He's able to get Tranum on the catch. And it's going to move the chains down to the 39 for a gain of 12.
Aaron Ochoa on the play, but no pressure on Samaje Davis. He was just able to pick apart the Broncos secondary for a first down.
Tranum had 8 catches for 98 against Abilene in week 2. Had only 7 catches after that until tonight. And now they're going to go back, able to get the pass out to Grant Brown, and Brown's off to the races.
And they missed some tackles again out here, Barry. Watch, right there is one. There's 2. Here's another one here. I'm going to give Reed Anastasio credit for not giving up on the play and bringing that runner down, but not before another Rebel first down.
Going to run the ball on this play down to the 12-yard line.
Just some missed tackles, Barry, at inopportune times. It's hurting this Bronco defense right now.
That was a 44-yard catch and run on the play that got him down here. So now second down to the 2.5-minute mark of the second quarter. Will he run it or throw it? Davis is going to choose to run it. Good pressure there up front in the tackle by one of the interior players, Anastasio, I think.
Yes.
As he's able to get down close to the 8. Needs to get to the 7, so it's going to be a 3rd and about a yard.
Nice job by Reed Anastasio, as Barry said, they're filling the hole and making the tackle there for a couple-yard gain. Now, I'll tell you what they did there, Barry. They took the outside receivers here and did what we call a switch route. The outside guy came in on a little quick slant, and the inside guy tried to rub off of him and go to the back end of the end zone. Neither route was open, and Davis did the right thing by throwing the ball away here and giving his team a chance to get some more points, and they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Going to go for it from the they're only going to need a yard, so you can bet that Davis is going to just simply run it here. He's going to make the appearance of throwing the ball, but then he's going to keep it himself. He'll have the first down. He's going to walk in for the TD on the 4th down play from the 8-yard line.
Watch the formation here, Barry. They had 2 tight ends in the game and brought the slot guy in, faked it to him on the sweep, and then Samaje just took the ball and ran to the outside. His read was the defensive end, or the end man on the line of scrimmage, decided to keep the ball, and as you saw, went untouched for another Rebel touchdown.
Well, he had a 5 TD effort in that upset overtime win against Amarillo Tascosa. Other than that was his 5 of his 6 rushing scores for the season. Has one here from 8 yards out, and the 41st point of the board is on the board for the Rebels. With about a minute 55 to play before halftime. It's been all lead tonight, 41-7. Be back in a moment.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's two guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's two dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Bill, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agent Mike Podzemny about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
Your new Texas Burger is now open at 191 in Fodry in Odessa.
The Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week. As you see a great shot of the full moon tonight, brought to you in part by Diamond Pump and Transport, Paul Evans Carpets. I was talking to one of the teachers that teaches at Bowie, and he said he knew it was a full moon night because his kids were a mess today. Same thing for yours?
Yeah, they were a little wound up today. I think the change in the weather this week's kind of done it a little bit, but we had a good day. We had a good afternoon, especially at school. Got some things done in class that I think will really help them with some math and some fitness as well. We try to incorporate some of the curriculum from the classroom into my PE class, and that's what happened this afternoon. We had a good time.
That run by Davis capped a 7-play drive in 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go 78 yards. Just a lot of missed tackles tonight, man.
A lot of missed tackles, a lot of missed opportunities, some mistakes offensively as well, as we pointed out, with some a couple turnovers and some problems with the snaps. Now you got 147 here and 3 timeouts. Let's see if they try to get something here before the half.
So they'll have it quarterback again, Trey Smith. Going to whip the ball out to his left, going to get some minimal yardage out to the 29-yard line. So maybe a yard gain, bringing up a 2nd and 9.
Quick screen on the outside to the wide receivers. You use the slot receivers, both of them, to try to get it sprung on the inside. Just did not happen.
Well, it's certainly been a full moon night for the Broncos tonight coming into this evening. First game of the year against El Paso Coronado. 21 points is what Lee put up in the first half. They put up 14 in week 2, 16 in week 3. Nowhere near the 41 they put up tonight. This game brought to you in part by Paving Pro and State Farm Insurance agent Mike Podzemny. Going to be a 2nd down play.
Well, this was a almost pick turnover here for the Rebels. That's probably why they called that timeout, to see if they could stop OHS here. That was a ball thrown into really triple coverage. It looked like a little slant or maybe post pattern that had 3 guys around it, and absolutely very little window of opportunity, almost a pick.
Going to be a 3rd down play. Going to need a full 9 yards for a first. They need to get out to the 39-yard line. Smith going to be looking to his left to throw the ball. He's going to have to, and he's got a guy open. Wide open goes Caulfield. Caulfield's going to be down to the 25. Now that was a well-thrown ball.
It really was, and here's our Trans Global Productions instant replay. He's looking the safety one way and allows the route to be run by Caulfield, just a little post pattern. Got behind the secondary. I guarantee you that's not what the Lee coaches wanted there. But that's a great throwing pass for the Broncos and a 1st down at the Rebel 25.
Yeah, 46 yards on it. Now here comes Keevy Robinson. Robinson's broken across the front 7. Going to be down close to a 1st down. Checking the clock, we're down to 1:11 to play before halftime, but the Bronco offense has found some rhythm.
Yeah, good block on the edge right there to allow Keevy to get outside. He makes a guy miss on the plant and gets up field for a nice 9-yard gain.
Got a man open in the corner of the end zone. Can they connect? Nope.
No, they do not. A little far to the back pylon on the fade route. That is really a good throw by the Bronco quarterback there, in that he put the ball only where his guy could get to it. So, yeah, you'd like to see that pass completed, Barry, but at least it was not short where the defender had a chance to get his hands on it.
And that's going to be 3rd and a yard, so Smith may just keep it here because they definitely need to get the 1st down, but oopsie. Going to lose 4 back to the 20, but by the time he handed the ball off, the entire defense handed Robinson's hat to him.
Mason Hubbard came in on the blitz there for the Rebels. No relation to me.
You sure?
As far as I know, it's not. But they did a good job of blitzing there and getting the sack.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by the booster clubs at both of the schools. Thanks to them and all of our sponsors that make being here every Friday night enjoyable activity.
Now let's see if the Broncos throw something pretty quick here, like a slant, or maybe a little switch route down here with the slot receivers. Either way, see what they do here.
Now the Broncos were 6 of 17 on fourth down before that throw to Caulfield, which will be plenty of what they need for a first down. They just get to be down to the 10-yard line for a gain of 20.
This is a little in route by the outside receiver down here. There's the play before on the blitz as you saw it come inside, but they just threw a little quick out here, a quick stop for a nice first down.
Smith's got a guy open, and he can't hang on to it. Oh, my goodness. Zay Brown was all by his lonesome midway back in the end zone. Ball was thrown and could not hang on. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he was open in the back of the end zone. As Barry said there, the tip just really kind of messed that whole thing up. But second down and goal from the 10 here. Let's see what the Broncos dial up here. See if maybe they do a little quarterback draw right here. Might be good against a blitz.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that call at all. Instead, they're going to hand the ball off to Keevy, who's going to get a couple. Going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 8.
Number 78, Felipe Diaz. Just really lowered the hammer there.
24 seconds to play before half, and I think the Broncos took the timeout.
Yes.
And we'll be back to Ratliff in a second.
During the National Flooring Sales Event at Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, you can get beautiful new floors for your home today and have 36 interest-free months to pay. 36 months with no interest on beautiful new carpeting, hardwood, tile, and luxury vinyl is the best and biggest deal Paul Evans has ever offered. Hurry to Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring today, because when October ends, so does this incredible deal. Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, under the huge Texas flag in downtown Odessa.
Forest Tire has kept you rolling since 1944 with 3 generations of ownership and 4 generations of management. Forest Tire carries the complete lines of Michelin and BF Goodrich car and light truck tires. And Forest offers more than just tires. Be it brakes, alignments, or shocks, your vehicle's best friend is Forest Tire. With 24-hour road service, you can count on Forest Tire for all your tire and automotive needs. Forest Tire, 8 locations in West Texas and southeastern New Mexico.
Texas Burger Ice Cream, the cool end to a great meal.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Texas Burger and the Permian Basin area-wide phone book. Larry's lobbying for a Smith run to the right. What do you think?
Need some help. I'll throw it here. Ooh. Just a little high on the underneath route. We're going to have a shot here at 4th and about 9. The in route was open, but the throw was just a little bit too high there. Now you've almost got to go to the end zone with this.
Who did he throw the ball to?
12 is who it was, but Larry says that would be Julian Galindo, excuse me.
To try to get the ball to Galindo, but couldn't quite connect, and so now they've elected to try to get, it looks like Ulysses is going to come on the field to try the field goal. The clock is ticking. Well, no, it stopped at 19 seconds because of the incomplete pass. Yes. Ulysses Gutierrez does not have a field goal yet this season. This attempt will come from 25 yards away, so just a bit more than an extra point attempt. Broncos trying to get on the board with their 10th point of the half, trailing 41-7. Final few seconds of the half. And Gutierrez is Johnny down the middle. So our new score with 14 seconds to play in the first half here at Ratliff Stadium tonight on a full moon Friday night is the Midland Lee Rebels 41 and the Broncos 10.
Does your truck or pipe yard surface look like this? I think it's time to call Paving Pro. Stop driving around in circles trying to avoid potholes. Call the professionals at Paving Pro. They'll have you a smooth surface in no time. And best of all, a smoother surface can limit the wear and tear on your equipment, keeping damage made by a rough surface with potholes at a minimum. Thanks, Paving Pro. Call Paving Pro for all your driveway and parking lot needs.
Try Texas Burger's new Banana Royale. You'll love it.
Trends Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Odessa College and Hokenthorpe CPAs. Well, the longest drive of the night for the Broncos, 12 plays, minute 33 seconds, a 64-yard drive in total, and the field goal of 25 yards from Ulysses Gutierrez has the Broncos on the board in the final 14 seconds.
And a good drive, Barry, to get some points and finish a drive, which was one of the things I talked about earlier, was once you get these drives, you need to finish them off with points. That's exactly what they did there. And a good job by the Bronco offense.
Tay Britt has returned 2 kickoffs for TDs this year, gathers that one up at the 20-yard line, and they're going to get him down after he moves the scrum all the way out to the 36 in the final 6 seconds.
I think we're going to see the old victory formation in the knee here, and this will be the last play of this first half. That's been pretty much Lee's way since the start.
Very important ball games going on all around the district tonight. Midland High is taking the weekend off. The brothers are playing tonight in Wolfforth Friendship. It's going to be Friendship and the Bobcats of San Angelo.
Yeah, they're actually in San Angelo.
In San Angelo. That's the Davis brothers. The older brother is the head coach, Brent, of the team in San Angelo. The younger brother coaches Wolfforth Friendship. Before that, his dad, their dad, was the longtime head coach at Wolfforth Friendship. When he retired, the son took over. So, and the other game, Permian at Amarillo Tascosa. So, we have reached the end of one half. Been all Lee tonight so far. Stay tuned for our halftime show tonight, presented by Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory and My TV 16. And then on the other side, the third and fourth quarters of tonight's game. Lee all the way so far at half leads 41-10.
I am so proud of you. Mom, we can't forget roses. Oh, you're right.
When it comes to great food and good times, make it Rosa's Cafe. For over 30 years, we've been a part of those special moments in life with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rosa's style. After all, life is better with Rosa's Cafe.
Once again, a great halftime show tonight presented by Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory, as well as My TV 16. Well, coming into the game, the Lee Rebel defense gives up on average 470 yards of offense. The Broncos ran up 237, so that's right on target. However, the Broncos average giving up 378, and they've given up 345 here in the first half. And the scoreboard shows that as well, 41-10, and I'm sure the stats, Kyle, reflect that also.
Yeah, it really does, Barry. If you look at just total offense alone, Lee has 345 yards in the first half to 237 for Odessa High School. You look at some of the passing statistics. Samaje Davis, 9 of 11 for 118 yards in that first half. His leading receiver was Sheldon Bass, number 88, at 3 catches for 49 yards and a touchdown. Rushing-wise for the Rebels as well, Josh Traylor, number 22, 5 carries, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Davis himself, 12 carries and 84 yards. You look at the Bronco offense, they're led in the first half rushing by Keve Robinson's 8 carries for 92 yards. Catching the ball wise, Tyrone Caulfield, 3 catches for 81. Passing has been the issue for the Broncos. Chase Webster, 2 of 9 for 27 yards. Trey Smith came in 4 of 10 for 63. And really not a lot of first downs in the game for either team. 9 for Lee to 6 for Odessa High. So
what'd you say Bass had in the first half?
Bass had 3 receptions for 49 yards in that long touchdown throw from Samaje Davis on the post route.
Yeah, he had 4 for 33 coming in, and then more than one above that tonight.
Well, you know, they got a kickoff to start the half, as you see here, so maybe they can get a stop and get the ball back and get some points to start the second half as the return goes out of bounds right at about the 30-yard line.
Now you compare the running backs. Robinson at 92 yards, Traylor at 103 that Kyle mentioned. Davis has 84. They all have touchdowns. Robinson an 84-yarder, Traylor from 73, Davis from 8. Traylor has his 103 on only 5 carries, but of course 73 of that came in one fell swoop. So first down and 10 now starting from the 30 as we begin the second half of play. Samaj Davis, senior quarterback, is going to be in an empty back. No, he's back there with Traylor, who's going to get the handoff, going to push forward, and going to get about 2.5 yards before he's gobbled up by that defensive line.
Again, number 14 for the Broncos there, that's Jorge Lopez. We called his name a few times in the first half to come up from his outside linebacker position and to help make that stop for about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, they kind of flipped things around defensively. Anastasio, Houston, Lucio, and Lopez are now the linebackers. Thompson and Chavez, the ends, and Gallegos is the nose guard. Back in the back, they've got Lamone, Beard, Navarrete, and Ochoa are the foursome on defense. So during the off week, did quite a bit of juggling. What the issue was somehow the Lee Rebels coaches upstairs got locked out of the coaches booth. And so, of course, the rule is that if one side can't communicate, the others have to turn theirs off. Well, they've since corrected everything, and we're back to go again. So they complete the pass here. Was that Traylor on the catch, 22?
Might have been.
Say again? Oh, it was Bass. Okay, so Bass will get the catch after the 41-yard line. That's going to be a gain for the first down. Now Traylor will carry the ball here. They can't get him on the ground. He's still going. It's like the Energizer Bunny all the way down to the 46-yard line, and finally some of the Bronco defenders are able to finally grab a hold of him, led, I believe, by Houston.
I think that's also Reed Anastasio there. Watch him get up and come help make the tackle again for the Broncos from his linebacker position. So I'm going to give him at least a half of an assist on that one.
Traylor had 300-yard games before tonight. Add a 4th one to his resume with the effort this evening. So a 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line will get him nothing as the Bronco maybe one, and the defense again will collapse on him.
Juan Gallegos, the nose tackle, in to help make the stop for the Broncos, as Barry said there, for only a 1-yard gain.
So going to be 2nd and 9. He's going to be in the backfield. Traylor along with Samaj Davis, a full complement of receivers, 2 on each side. He's thrown the ball to Bass quite a bit tonight. This one's going to be completed for a nominal gain to Grant Brown, who had a couple of catches there in the first half, scored on a end-around play. No gain, and about 3rd and 8.5.
Watch this hit, Barry. Jorge Lopez read this perfectly. Boy, just locked up and made the tackle right there. A good form tackle by Jorge there for absolutely no gain on the wide receiver screen.
So let's see if the Broncos can lock down the offense here, not let them get a first down. They have to make sure they don't touch the 37-yard line. That's the yard line they need to get to. Here comes a lot of pressure. Finally throws the ball to nobody. Does have a receiver, does catch it. Brown will be about 2.5 yards short. So unless Coach Hartman elects to go for the first down here, Bronco defense has done the job.
Aaron Ochoa from the free safety position made that tackle on the crossing route by the receiver, And I think Lee's going to end up going for this, Barry, here on 4th and maybe less than about 4.
Coming into tonight, Coach Hartman, by the way, 60 wins, 35 losses in his career. He was 2-5. He's 2-5 this year. He was 17-17 at San Antonio East Central. That's where they hired him from. And the unusual thing about that, as I told you earlier, he coached at Odessa High.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Back in the early 2000s as a defensive back coach. Well, when he took the job at San Antonio East Central, that's his alma mater. Well, chose to leave and chose to move to Midland Lee for this season as Coach Morton. James Morton, longtime coach at Lee, moved on to his alma mater, Eastland High School. And so we have 2 first-year coaches here facing off tonight, and Danny Servants for Odessa High and Clint Hartman for the Rebels. They are going to elect to punt. First time to punt tonight, as it's going to be all the way down to the 7-yard line. Well, when it's going good, it's going good.
Well, and that was probably one that should have been fielded there and brought on up the field. He had a blocker in front of him, Barry. I thought he might come on up and get the ball, chose to let it bounce, and the Broncos are going to start deep in their own territory here at their own 8-yard line.
Bowden punted 3 times last week, 5 times rather, for a 34-yard average. He gets off a good one here and pins the Broncos back in deep in Bronco territory. We are early in the 3rd quarter. The first series by Lee resulting in the punt. Now the Broncos back on offense at quarterback. They're going to go stay with the guy that brung them through that whole second half, Trey Smith.
Second quarter.
Second quarter. What did I say? Second half?
Second half.
Through the whole second quarter. So Trey Smith will be the man under center, and the running back is going to be, is that Lavario or is it going to be Robinson?
That's Lavario.
So Lavario will get the nod here as we begin the second half. It's going to be a second down play. It's going to be a keeper all the way. Needs to try to break through that front 7. He's going to get out close to the 14-yard line, and he's going to be close to what he needs. I had him down at the – did they start the line of scrimmage at the 8? Is that right?
8-yard line, okay. So they've got about 3rd and 5 here. That's a design quarterback sweep around the left side, good blocking, and making this very manageable 3rd and about 4.
Well, they need this one, don't they?
They do.
Going to throw it. Here comes a whole lot of pressure. Tries to throw the ball out at the very last second. In the grasp, possibly. Incomplete for sure. And it's going to be up to Anastasio unless they call intentional grounding. Well, they did have somebody in the area, I think, within 40 or 50 yards, didn't they?
But he didn't get the ball past the line of scrimmage, Barry.
And also
they just threw the flag, and this is going to be half the distance and loss of down.
Loss of down, spot foul, 4th down.
Barely agrees with you.
Yeah, you've got to if you get outside the tackle box, that's fine. But the pass has to go past the line of scrimmage, and I don't really think they had anybody out there.
Well, there in the first half, Anastasio's punting was for 19, 32, 23, and 35. Well, if he gets the 35-yarder off here, it means Lee will be starting somewhere in the vicinity of the 30-yard line. Tay Britt back to receive the kick, and he's going to return it to the 30, down the sideline, going to get down to the 23-yard line, and that's where Lee will start their second drive of the second half, leading 41-10. There is a flag on the play, so we'll see which side it will go to, and then Lee will be back on offense.
Yeah, very short punt there. Here's the replay. Anastasio just getting rid of the ball. Boy, I think this might be roughing the punter. May only be running into the punter, Barry. Probably only be a 5-yard penalty.
Running the kicker. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick. 4th down.
And the reason they're going to re-kick is because if they do move it up 5, maybe you get a little better kick here and a little more flipping of the field, if you will, get a little more field position for your defense to work on.
Yeah, because they're going to still need 8 yards or so. Let's see, the line of scrimmage is going to be the 12. Yeah, they're going to still need about 6 for the first down. And had it been the roughing, it would have been an automatic first. So once again, Anastasio, though, now kicking from the 1. And Britt And the other feller going to be back at the 45-yard line, back there as well as Prince. Prince is number 5, Tay Britt's number 6. They've changed sides, and so now instead of Britt, it's going to be Prince is going to return it, and he goes absolutely nowhere because of great coverage.
Great coverage by Aaron Ochoa right there. The bobble on the fielding of the punt didn't help matters any, but let's give Aaron Ochoa credit for hustling down the field, and once the bobble happened, he just put the clamps on that guy right there, and instead of them starting deep in Bronco territory, it's actually going to be at the Bronco 45-yard line.
Yeah, 22-yard difference. They would have started on the 22, but as he just told you, back here to the 45. So it's going to be the Lee Rebels back on offense here as we're in the second half of play. 7:16 to play in the third. Nobody has put anything on the board after halftime. Standard will catch the pass here as second of the night. Very quickly taken down for a gain of maybe 2.
Aaron Ochoa again playing the corner position down here. Read the screen correctly, got through the block, and made an excellent open field tackle for only a 2-yard gain.
So 2nd and 8 after that pass and run. Going to hand the ball off inside. Going to get the first down and a whole lot more. In fact, they are not going to catch him, and he is going to go in from 43 yards away. So the second long-distance run by the sophomore, Josh Traylor, will put the Rebels on the board a second time for a 7th time tonight.
Yeah, nobody in the secondary for the Broncos on the second or third level able to fill in and make that tackle. They did an excellent job, the Rebels did, of blocking it up front, and once he passed the line of scrimmage, as Barry said, it was off to the races and into the end zone.
He boogied on down the road now. On the extra point will be Nathan Bowden. Bowden just moved up to the varsity last week with the injury to Alvarez, and he is on the mark one more time. So 6:37 to play in the third quarter. Rebels on top of this one. It's been a Rebel night, 48-10.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition. Cool story, bro. It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, here. High five. I invented that, too.
Our Trans-Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Medical Center Hospital and Nimbus Drinking Water Systems. Quick drive of only 2 plays to go the 45 yards, 43 of it in one fell swoop by the sophomore running back, Traylor, Josh Traylor. 9 carries, 162 yards for him, 2 TDs, 73 and 43. 2-play drive, 45 yards, 39 seconds.
Pretty quick work from that Lee Rebel offense, and now the OHS offense has got to try to do something here as well.
First, you got to hang on to it.
I don't know if he called for a fair catch, but it is another turnover for the Broncos. The Lee Rebels have another short field to work with here on the special teams mistake.
Well, it looked to me.
Yeah, he just didn't field it.
Yeah, just didn't field it.
Just didn't field it at all. And like I said, I didn't see whether he got a chance to do the fair catch signal or not, but he did not take care of the football. And another turnover, as I said, for the Broncos.
It was Dylan Good that came up with a fumble recovery, his first of the season. So now Lee will start at the 6:29 mark at the Odessa 34-yard line, and it's going to be 1st and 10. That defense is going to be getting tired.
Yeah, they've been on the field an awful long time there. That's a nice tackle, looks like by Joseph Chavez, the junior defensive end for the Broncos there, knifing in for a 1-yard loss. Great job by him right there to disrupt it in the backfield for the Bronco defense. And you're right, Barry, they've got to start feeling a little worn down with as much time as they've been on the field tonight, and they've had to really defend a short field in most cases tonight for the Odessa High Broncos.
No gain on first down. Colby Standard is now the quarterback for the Midland Lee Rebels. So Samaj Davis has taken a seat. Going to hand the ball off to the sophomore. He's going to get about 6 or 7 down to the 28-yard line. Will go trailer.
That's Reed Anastasio again from his linebacker position, filling in very nicely to hold the ball carrier there for about a 4-yard gain. And this will be 3rd and 5. The Bronco defense needs to hold here. I would suspect Lee would even go for it on 4th down at this point.
Well, Standard really doesn't have a lot of playing time this year coming into the ball game. His only action was against Midland. Had one pass that night, didn't complete it. Has been moved to receiver and getting a lot of action at that position, but with the game well in hand, still some more district games to go. They elect to go to Colby Standard, the quarterback, and his carry will get him what he needs for the first, as they're going to mark him just inside the 24-yard line, and the chains are going to move.
Tanner Houston, number 42, is the inside linebacker position, along with Chris Thompson helping to make the play for the Broncos. But as Barry said, it is another first down for the Midland Lee Rebels.
And I assume that Traylor will be taking a seat as well here in a minute. Quite a sophomore find. Played very sparingly the first game, got promoted to the starting lineup the next week, and has been there ever since. They hand the ball off going the other way to Jordan Rodriguez. Rodriguez is going to get a few yards, and I don't think he has carried the ball at all this year. He has not. His first carry of the night and of the season will get him down to the 19-yard line for a gain of 5.
Yeah, a little good execution by them there on the run to the outside. Colton Beard made the tackle from his strong safety position, the senior strong safety, as I said, for the Odessa High Broncos.
Sophomore running back David Jones has now come in for Traylor. They're going to hand the ball up. Little miscommunication, and the Broncos may come up with this one. Whole lot of red shirts around it.
I do believe they have.
They're signaling Odessa High ball.
Yep, this is a fumble on the handoff there. Just never got it in the belly of the running back there. And you can see it still running around down there on the ground. And I think number 46 maybe for the Broncos, Kevin Majors, on the recovery, and it will be a first down at their own 28-yard line for Odessa High School.
Okay, I thought it was Houston. So you're saying Majors came up with it, but either way, the fumble recovery is going to give the Broncos the ball. With 3:48 to play in the third quarter, they'll have a 1st and 10 now from the 28-yard line. Majors may have been in there to get some playing time for sure. Going to throw the ball over the middle. They're going to have it completed for a first down at beyond the 40-yard line.
A good little play-action pass and a quick pass to number 13 there, you see, for the Broncos. And a nice job of finding the open area.
Aaron Contreras is who caught it. Going to be out to the 43 for a gain of 15.
Oh, he might get out the backside here, Barry. Good job. Good play fake. I didn't see the fake there. Here's the hand. Here's the replay. He's reading the end. They actually got him right there. He ran out of the tackle. Talking about Trey Smith and getting on past right at the 50-yard line for a nice 6-yard gain, actually.
That was Contreras' 5th catch of the season. Had a couple of weeks ago, couple of the first 2 weeks, but nothing since. Going to hand the ball off inside. Going to get close to what they need for the first, maybe about a half a yard short. Handed the ball off to Lavario, and it's going to bring up 3rd and about 2.
A little quick hitter off the left side of that line where Mason Sanchez, Bailey Perez, Christian Alvarez, Caden Murray, Roy Garcia doing a nice job up front to get about 3 yards, making this a 3rd and 1 now. See if Lee brings pressure up the middle. They did the last time at the end of the first half there on a short yardage situation.
Smith just going to keep it?
Hell, he might. See if they bring pressure up the middle.
So Trey Smith will get what he needs. They're going to push him out close to the 40-yard line. He needed to get to the 46 for a first, and he got that. And the chains are going to move as the Broncos, again, will get a 1st and 10 starting. Well, instead of the 40-yard line, I'm sorry, they marked him at the 45, but it's going to be what they needed, and the Broncos will have a 1st and 10.
Saw a good shot of the Bronco offensive line. A couple of the coaches there, Dean Garza, the offensive coordinator, calling the play in here on 1st and 10 for the Bronco offense.
Nathan Lavario will get the handoff right up the gut. Running behind the center, Alvarez, Murray, Sanchez, interior of the line, the 2 guards and tackle. Going to get a couple.
Yep, good job again inside to hand the ball off and get those 2 or 3 yards Barry talked about here. And trying to establish a little rhythm here on this Bronco offense on the drive with 1:32 left in the 3rd quarter.
Lavario averages just under 4 yards a pop. Had a little over 100 coming into the game tonight, but with the unavailability of Carrasco, the limited availability of Robinson, and they were going to lean heavily on him. Ball came loose, but I think it was well after the fact he was down. Again, they're going to come up. Hunt has the ball and saying, I got it, but I think the ground cannot cause the fumble, so it's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, I think he was already down. You're exactly right, Barry. But here's another 3rd and 6. 6.5 yards for the Bronco offense. Let's see if they go to the airways here. They've got single coverage down here on Caulfield. Let's see if they go that way. They're rolling the corner up.
That's probably where they will throw it if they do throw it. Going to be a 3rd down play. He's looking at the 3 guys on the right. Is not going to get a chance because Dustin Hunt's going to come in and plant him.
This is the blitz coming from the outside. Did not get it picked up. Did not slide anybody over there to get that blocked. And big, almost 8-yard loss there. I think the Broncos are going to go for it. Actually, I think, Barry, they're going to let the quarter run out and talk about it during the break.
Well, that was Dustin Hunt's team leading 3rd sack of the season, and it came at a great time. It comes at a great time for the Lee Rebel defense. The last 5 seconds are ticking away of the 3rd quarter. So the only score of the quarter, the 43-yard run by Traylor. Our score after 3, Rebels in control, 38-point difference as they lead at 48-10.
I am so proud of you. Mom, we can't forget roses.
Oh, you're right.
When it comes to great food and good times, make it Rose's Cafe. For over 30 years, we've been a part of those special moments in life with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rose's style. After all, life is better with Rose's Cafe.
Ready for the best deal ever from Cable One? For a limited time, $25 gets you 100 megs. Really, $25? That's half price on high-speed internet. We've never offered you so much for so little. So call Cable One at 855-740-8971. 100 megs means reliable Wi-Fi and the best streaming on all your devices, all for just $25. But this half-price deal ends soon. So call and switch today. Cable One, the face of fast.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
Well, next week here at Ratliff Stadium, we're going to be welcoming in our first look at the San Angelo Central Bobcats, who again have a very high-powered offense. Permian Panthers will be the host team. Here at Ratliff tonight, it's the Rebels of Midland Lee on top of the Broncos by a 48-10 score. Now Anastasio will kick it away as we begin the fourth quarter. Nobody back to receive it, so the Broncos simply will run down and, well, it was going to go backwards, guys. I mean, it was going to go back about another 10 yards. He was able to intercept it. Well, you think it would have rolled back toward the goal line?
It's possible. Never know, but he decided to kill it there, and they're going to have it at the 23-yard line now. Did see some of the reserves for the Rebels that last time they hit the ball. Let's see if that happens again.
Now the Broncos will be at Wolford Friendship next week, at Permian the week after, and then they close the season, the regular season, with a game against Midland, with the Midland Bulldogs. Boy, we were very impressed with what we saw with Midland last week.
Quarterback A to Z really put on a show, didn't he?
He did.
6 touchdowns, I believe, if that was right.
Yep.
And, boy, they're not afraid to throw the football in Midland this year, so that will be a strong test for this Bronco defense as well.
Now they hand the ball off. Nick Sorianello is the quarterback. They gained a couple on that first down play. Going to be second down now from the 24-yard line. Nick Sorianello, I told you earlier in the game, was the guy they thought was going to be the quarterback of the season last year, but Samaj Davis beat him out, and they moved him to receiver, and so he gets some garbage time, as they call it here. Sorianello's going to be all the way out to the 40-yard line. What I meant was they bring him in when the score is, as you see, usually a 35-point difference. You'll see a different third-team quarterback come into a game.
And you see that Rebel offense just caved down inside and allowed that running back, that quarterback, to get up inside. Nice blocking and nice execution by the Rebels for another first down.
It'll be 1st and 10 for sure. From the 40-yard line.
They're just going to run the ball now, Barry. They're going to try to eat some clock here. They almost had a snap over the head.
Sorianello will get one.
Inside number 41 there for the Bronco defense. Oscar Lucio making the tackle, stepping up and filling a hole from his inside linebacker position in their 3-4 defense for only a yard gain. Good job, Oscar.
Now, before the night, Sorianello had not thrown a pass, still hadn't. His only rushing attempts this year, he had 4 tries against Abilene for 7 yards. So now we've gone from Samaj Davis to Colby Standard to now Nick Sorianello. And the clock continues to click down inside the 10-minute mark. The Rebels have been in control of this one from the get-go. Going to hand it off inside, and once again breaking that front 7, and nobody is going to stop him. All the way down into the end zone will go the running back, the sophomore David Jones, will score from 59 yards away.
Yeah, and once he broke the line of scrimmage, Barry, and got past the front 7, there's nobody in the secondary to step in and fill that hole. And like you said, he was gone boogity all the way to the end zone for another Rebel touchdown.
Yeah, Jones had 8 carries for 48 before tonight, had not carried the last 2 weeks, and in one fell swoop goes 59 to more than double his season average. His first score of the year will come from the 59 yards out, and the Rebels, after the extra point, have increased their lead with 9:32 to play in the ball game to 55-10.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. Yeah. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition. Good story, bro. It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper here. High five. And man, that too.
Now that was a quick drive by the Midland Lee Rebels. I didn't even total it up. My oopsie. 77 yards on the drive. Took them about a minute and a half to go that yardage in only 4 plays. David Jones capped it off with a 59-yard run, and the Lee Rebels lead it by 55-14. We'll return this one. They're going to do the cross buck play, but it's not going to get them much because they're not even going to make it back to the 10-yard line. By the time he's through, out to the 12-yard line they will go, and the Broncos will start there.
Yep, they tried the little flip back here, as Barry said. It was way too deep. What I mean by that is when they did this, the Lee coverage had not even gotten down the field yet, only about 10 or 15 yards. So that didn't really fool them at all, and they just pursued to the ball and got him out of bounds at the 15 of Odessa High School.
Now the Lee Rebels 373 yards rushing the ball tonight. How does that compare to what they've done this year? Well, that's the most. They had 367 on 55 attempts versus Tascosa when they won that one in overtime. Unofficially 373. Now at the 9:15 mark of the quarter. Broncos are back on offense. Going to throw the ball. Looking over the middle. I'm not sure if we got it or they got it. Looks like they did. And the ball intercepted there back in the defensive secondary for the Midland Lee Rebels by
number 42 for them.
Yeah, I think Luna.
Yeah, that's Luna. Here's the replay. Looking one way. He knows he's fixing to get hit, Barry. He just forced the ball right there into triple coverage, as you can see. And it was a pretty easy picking for Luna and the Rebel defense. And they've got another short field to work with. Here with 9:05 left in the fourth quarter.
That was Luna's first pick of the season. The Lee Rebels had only 2 interceptions before tonight, both of those against Abilene in the second game of the year. They have 2 tonight. Now Sorianello's going to whip the ball out to his receiver, who's going to go all the way into the end zone for yet one more score by the Midland Lee Rebels. Well, when it rains, it pours. Anthony Ford on the reception. I understand there's a penalty on the play, so we'll check it. That will be Ford's first score of the season if it holds up.
Terrell Pierce will give us the call.
Back. 23 of the offense. 10 yards to spot the foul. First down.
Well, I bet he's going to have a conversation with Rodriguez.
Well, yeah.
Got his first score, and the guy blocking the back, and they're going to bring it back.
And again, Odessa High just got blocked at the point of attack, and once he broke the initial wave, it was off to the races. And you're exactly right. I bet something will be said about a block that's 10 yards behind where the play is actually happening.
Well, they put the penalty at the 12-yard line, Kyle, so that means the penalty had to come up at the goal line.
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Line. Yeah.
So Jones will get the carry here. David Jones will get maybe a yard, if that. In fact, they say he's going to lose about a half a yard, so second down.
Here's the replay. Let's see if we can see the block right there.
That's
just silly.
That's just
it's
dumb.
Just silly. It's silly. You don't have to even block that.
No, good show, Debbie. Debbie Bailey with our replay. So that does explain the fact that it did happen on the goal line. Sorianello fakes it into the end zone, fakes it to the back. David Jones went left. Sorianello goes off to the right and will score his first touchdown of the season. This coming from 12 yards out at the 8:03 mark of the fourth quarter.
And that's the zone read. We talk about it all the time in our telecast. A quarterback rides the ball into the belly of the running back. He's reading the defensive end on that side, saw the defensive end or end man on the line of scrimmage crack down, and decided to keep it and just strolled into the end zone.
And the extra point is good. So our new score one more time. Rebels have widened the lead out to 62-10 with just under 8 minutes to play in the ballgame.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
Enjoy the best cheeseburger in town at Texas Burger.
Now the Luna interception results in a two-play drive of 29 yards in just over a minute. Nick Sorianello gets his first score of the season from 12 yards out, and the Broncos are trailing by 60-10.
And all you can say here, Barry, is you just keep playing one play after the other now. You just got to keep playing and giving the best effort you possibly can right now.
Now the 62 is quite a bit more than their best of the season. They scored 42 against El Paso Coronado, also 42 in that win against Tascosa, 62 here tonight.
And this Bronco coaching staff's not going to quit on these kids. I can tell you that, knowing most of them. Being around them during my years as coaching, they're going to keep coaching these kids up and encouraging them to give the best effort they can, and that's what I expect to happen.
Well, only 4 years ago, back in 2012, Lee won the game 63-6. Now the Lee Rebels have been able to run the ball tonight, thrown it when they needed to, and it's been all Lee Rebels tonight, as the Broncos have had all kind of trouble just trying to contain that Lee Rebel offense. Back at quarterback is going to be Chase Webster. Webster runs the ball here for a gain of maybe 2.
The tackle.
Bring up a second down.
Rodriguez, number 84, with a shoestring tackle right there. Chase might still be running.
So now second down and 9 from the 26-yard line. Man, they continue to snap the ball like they think the quarterback is 6'4", don't they?
Yeah, and that was the zone read there. Chase should have probably given the ball inside because he kept it and went on out to the edge and going to lose about 3 or 4 yards, making this 3rd and about 10 for the Bronco offense.
Now let's look for Caulfield. He's matched up there in the top of the screen, matched up against Tay Britt. Nope, that's not Britt, that's another defender. But he's matched up there, and it's going to be a long 3rd down play. Israel Delgado is the defender on him. Let's see if they go left.
Well, that was a tight window there, but a good catch, and I think they're going to get the first down for the Broncos at the 35-yard line.
So it was Zay Brown that came up with it. 35-yard line will be, they needed to get to the 35 for a first. But the guys moving the chains are going in the wrong direction.
43 of the defense, 15 yards at the end of the run, first down.
So what happened was the play was good enough for a first, and then the extracurricular activity afterwards has moved the ball all the way out to midfield, and it's going to be 1st and 10. The chain crew went north instead of south. They finally got their attention, brought them back. Guess they were heading to Dairy Queen or something. So 1st and 10 now. Well, Dairy Queen's in the other direction. So now Chase Webster at quarterback. I'm looking, I think that's Keevy. Is that Keevy or LeVar? Is that a 22? Okay, so Keevy Robinson will get the handoff here. Keevy's up the middle. And put him on his backside inside the 45-yard line. Just going to be close to the 43.
Just about got stripped there coming through the line of scrimmage, but good job by Keevy to hold on to it and pick up a couple, 3 or 4 yards there.
Yeah. Going to send out 3 receivers to the left. That's going to bring the sophomore Caulfield here to the right. Now, what do you see?
Well, I see single coverage down here at the bottom. On Caulfield again. They're rolling a corner up. They got 3 receivers to the top side, so you've got single coverage. Let's see if they decide to pick on him down here. Nope, going to let Chase run the ball.
He's going to run the ball. He's going to have a first down and more down to the 37-yard line. Needed to get to the 40 for a first. Did that, added 3 to it. And again, the Chains will move on down the road.
And good job by Keevy to get through the hole there and kind of pick a guy off at the corner and get another nice Bronco first down with Chase Webster's legs running there.
It'll be 1st and 10 now for the Broncos. Deep, fairly deep into Lee Rebel territory. Finds a man down the field. Had a beat, it looked like, on Zay Brown, but can't complete it.
Had a little post route running down the middle of the field. Had a guy in front in coverage and one coming over the top. A little tight window there to try to fit it into. Didn't get it there. And it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Broncos.
From the 37-yard line.
With 4:46, of course, the clock stops. So let's see what they do here on 2nd down.
He's going to be looking right. Nope, going to tuck it and run. There goes Chase down to the 35. Going to be down close to the 30-yard line. And he's going to be about 3 yards short of what he needs. Clock is ticked down inside the 4.5-minute mark. And the Broncos are going to be facing a 3rd and about 3?
3rd and about 3 here. 4-down territory for the Bronco offense. See what they call here.
What do you think they're going to call?
I think they're going to run the ball here, Barry. Let's see if they can run it here with Chase. Decided they were going to try a little quick hitch route. And
there's Keevy if he wants to dump the ball off to him. If he's going to run around, they're going to get him for a sack if he's not careful, and they are going to sling him down at about the 43-yard line. Up there very quickly to make the tackle for them was the defensive end.
Yeah. Well, that's one Chase would probably like to have back, either throw it away and give yourself a chance on 4th and short. Now it's 4th and about 15 or 16 here.
Devon Martinez' first sack of the season is going to pin him back to the 42-yard line. And it's going to be 4th down and about, what are they going to call it, 15?
About 15,
They need to get down to the 27-yard line for a first down, and I think it looks like Odessa High is going to have to talk about it. Final 3 minutes and 41 seconds to play here at Ratliff. Broncos on the trailing end of a 62-10 score. The only score by them was a long-distance run by Keevy Robinson of 84 yards, a field goal of 25 by Ulysses Gutierrez. And now this pass play is going to get a first down and a whole lot more, as the Broncos are going to be down to the 15-yard line.
Good play design here by the Bronco coaching staff. Here's our replay. You're going to see this as a screen pass. Just let the defenders come on through. Offensive linemen get down the field. Good block right there. Keevy gets right in behind it. Gets a first down all the way down to the Rebel 15-yard line.
So that goes from the 42 to the 15. How many yards is that?
A lot.
32? 40? No. No, 42.
Well, there he goes inside. That is Robinson into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown.
So Robinson will score with 15 yards out, and the Broncos are one more time on the board.
This is the power play. Call it power because the guard pulls from the backside, gets up into the right side A gap, and Keevy just got in right behind him and waltzed his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Here it comes into your living room, folks. There it is right inside. And Keevy just kept his legs running, broke a couple of tackles, and as you saw, got into the end zone for another OHS touchdown.
A 75-yard drive in 4.5 minutes, a bit more than that to go 9 plays. And the last 15 was Keevy Robinson, who scores his 3rd rushing score of the season. By the way, that reception a moment ago, 27 yards coming into the game. Robinson had caught 5 passes for a negative 11 yards. So the 6th catch of his season will put him in the positive yardage. How about that? 3:01 to play in the ball game, and it is 62-17.
Every occasion, at any age, make it Rosa's Cafe for great food and good times. From generation to generation, we've been making memories for families across the Southwest with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rosa style. After all, life is better with Rosa's Cafe.
.301 to play in the ball game. After the kickoff, we're going to talk about most valuable players, our Dr. Pepper players of the game. We'll start with defense. So now kicking the ball away, it's going to go deep. Lee's going to be able to return this one. It's going to run out of bounds, and they'll take it on the 25. So what you thinking?
I'm thinking defensive MVP. This is a tough choice for me tonight because I think two outside linebackers have played very well. But I'm going to give it tonight to Reed Anastasio. I've got him unofficially with 7 tackles. Thought he played very well. He and Jorge Lopez were all over the field for the Broncos tonight, but mine's going to go to defensive MVP is going to be number 34, Reed Anastasio.
And you mentioned Lopez. Also, Chris Thompson, number 30, had a good game tonight. Offensively, I'm going to go with the running back, Kiwi Robinson, who had 11 carries tonight, 111 yards. The 2 scores came from 84 yards and 15 yards. And Robinson's second 100-yard effort tonight will win him the Dr. Pepper offensive most valuable player of the game. So now from the 30-yard line, Lee is going to snap the ball short. Sorianello never even had a chance to get to it. Let's see who came up with it. They say Lee did. From the 30, they're going to lose a couple back to the 28. And the clock is running down to 2:30.
Yeah, it's just been a tough night for this Bronco team. It's been one mistake after another, one big run or play after another. You know, it's kind of like you said, when it rains, it pours, and this Bronco team has just got to pick up the pieces and get ready to play next week up in Friendship, I believe you said.
Yep, I did. Going to be second down, Sorianello. Going to hand the ball off to Jones, who attracts a lot of friends with the red-white shirts on. Going to be a third down play.
Yeah, they're just going to run the ball here, Barry, and try to get the clock down into the end of the game here. Let's give this Lee Rebel team credit and their coaching staff credit. They've made some plays and done some things tonight to really put these 62 points on the board. They've played very well here at Ratliff tonight.
Well, it's going to be their 3rd win of the year to go against 5 losses. The only wins against Coronado, that overtime game against Tascosa, and here tonight. And then in district play, it's going to pull them even at 2-2. And so they definitely are in the playoff race. Lee will end their season this way. They will be open next week, then host Wolford Friendship, and then close out against Permian back here at Ratliff. So they definitely are in the playoff hunt and have a lot to play for.
And with 3 district wins, you would think they are in a prime position right now to get into the postseason with those 2 games left and a bye week. So they're going to have a bye week at a good time where they can get healthy and make a run down those last 2 games to solidify a playoff spot.
We have the last 45 seconds of the ball game here at Ratliff Stadium. Well, the ball game started with the Lee Rebels on the board first, got up top 7-0, and from then on it was just Katie bar the door. They scored in the first couple of minutes of the ball game on a 20-yard run by Traylor on a broken play. Led 7-0, then 14-0. This punt return's going to be good for the Rebels, for the Broncos out beyond the 45-yard line, close to midfield.
Colton Beard there on the return.
In fact, the Rebels led 28-0 before finally the Broncos got on the board on that 84-yard run by Robinson, which immediately was followed by a 73-yard run by Traylor, and then a couple of more scores, halftime scores, 1-10, and now we stand at 62-17 with 29 seconds to play in the ballgame.
Yeah, it's been a tough night, like I said earlier, like we've said, but give this Bronco team credit. They've showed some heart tonight, kept playing, got 17 points on the board. They've done some nice things here and there. Kiwi Robinson with a nice run, as you said, tonight. We had some good pass plays here and there, and as I said, you go back to the drawing board in the morning as coaching staff and get them ready on Monday to play next week up in Wolford Friendship.
The Lee Rebels with a season best 392 yards rushing unofficially, and certainly paved the way toward this victory. In fact, they only had one touchdown pass, that to Sheldon Bass. Everything else was on the ground.
And they tried to hit Kiwi Robinson running right down the middle of the defense there. He was covered very well by the two safeties on the Lee secondary, and just could not get the pass to him. Really wasn't open at all. Overthrew it, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
It's going to come from the 48-yard line. Webster looking. Here comes some pressure. He's not going to be able to get away. The ball comes loose, and it's going to be recovered by Lee. And in fact, it's going to be recovered by the guy that made the sack, Joe Castillo.
They actually called it an incomplete pass, Barry.
So I take all of that back. So it was Isaiah Garza, number 43, that made the tackle and the sack on Webster. And in so doing, ball is going to be back to the 40 for a 9-yard loss.
Hey, but you were on top of it. You had the right guy.
No, I didn't, because the first guy identified was the Odessa High guy by that number. Castillo probably went, I didn't do that. So now we're down to the final 13 seconds. So my question is, if it's an incomplete pass, why did they mark off the yardage back to the sack?
Well, that's what they're talking about right now. If that's Joe Mariolis making the call there, coming from the far side.
Intentional grounding. Ball did not reach the line of scrimmage. 4th down. Or 3rd down, excuse me.
Okay. I didn't think it was intentional grounding. I thought he just lost control of the ball, but that's the call. So the final 13 seconds, loss of down means that the Broncos will keep it here and just try to run the clock out. Do you have any thoughts about
correction? We have 4th down.
Okay. What are your final thoughts?
Well, it's just been, like we said, it's been a rough night for the Broncos. They just, they've got to go back, like I said, to the drawing board and get ready to start another week on Monday, and you just persevere here. You find out sometimes in life things don't go your way. It's been rough, but it builds character, and I think you've got to get out there and just learn from this and keep going on with school and with life.
Well, our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced and directed as always by Bob Bailey. Debbie Bailey, his lovely wife, does the replay. Our main camera guys up top, Charlie Pierce and Isaac Rivas. Grant Barrage in the north end zone, Robert Carrillo in the south, Pete and John Delgado, our grips.
3rd down.
So they've corrected now to 3rd down with 13 seconds to play. Larry Thornhill does our statistician work, and tonight his pencil was burning. Kyle Hubbard with the analyst, Barry Sykes with the play-by-play. And, I'm 100% certain that the hire they made in bringing Danny Servance in was the right move. But with any coaching change, it takes a couple of 3 years to kind of get things to work the way that you need them to. And one of the biggest things they need is to get the athletes out of the hall.
Start. Offense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
And on the field.
I told you, Barry, I've watched their junior varsity play a couple times out here on Thursday nights. They have an excellent junior varsity. They fly around to the football defensively and make some plays. They've got some skilled people offensively. You're exactly right. This coaching staff is going to build this program. Believe in these guys. I've worked with them, and I can tell you they're good men. They're good family men. They're good coaches, and they're going to get this thing fixed.
Going to take some time. Won't happen this year, but, folks, it's coming. I can tell you that.
It really is.
And we have reached the end of the game, and it's a final. So tonight's final score is the Midland Lee Rebels in a walkover tonight. Broncos tried to hang tough, but lose the ball game. And our final score, the Lee Rebels of Midland 62, the Odessa High Broncos 17. Everybody have a good week. We will see you next Friday night. But first of all, I guess we have a play here The game cannot end on a defensive penalty.
It's going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty, Barry, on Lee, so you're exactly right.
Yeah, so what it's going to be is a untimed down.
Personal foul, 41 of the defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Now, will they put time on, or let's see if they just do you said, a one untimed?
Yeah, just one untimed down, I'm sure.
Right.
Houston tipped the Broncos ball at the Rebels' 26-yard line.
So, we'll watch it. See what happens.
See if they throw it. They're going to throw it in the end zone.
Yeah, throw it to Caulfield. I want to see Caulfield score.
Well, or send Keevy down the seam here, see if he can get one-on-one coverage with a linebacker or safety. You might fit it right in there. And let's see if Terrell Pierce tells us we're going to have the one untimed down Barry's called, or if they, I don't know. See what they do here. They want to make sure they get it right and end the game the way it's supposed to be finalized here.
We will have one untimed down.
There you go. You called it.
All right, so with 0-0 on the clock, final play of the game coming up. It's nice to be right occasionally.
There you go. You've been right a lot.
Thank you. If I had a wife, I'd have you tell her that. So the final play of the game is going to come from the 27-yard line of the Midland Lee Rebels. Webster looking deep into the end zone, has a man open, and quite cannot connect to Caulfield. So we have reached the end of the ball game. Once again, our final score, the Midland Lee Rebels 62 and the Odessa High Broncos 17.